All right, y'all. It is your girl Kyra here with Trash Barz, and I have a legendary man here for this interview today. So listen, he's the owner of the Charged Up flagship store. He's an artist, entrepreneur, and listen, he's gonna chat about his upcoming event that we'll get into shortly. But first, I want you to tell the people just a little bit about yourself before we dive into the bigger questions of the interview. But yeah, tell them about yourself and what you're doing here today.
My name is Noah O. I'm a hip hop artist slash entrepreneur. I wear a lot of hats. I'm based in Richmond, Virginia. Originally, I'm from California, from San Francisco, but I grew up there, and I also grew up in Richmond. Charged Up Store is a retail boutique that sells merchandise for our movement, which is Charged Up.
Hey.
We've been established since 2002. It started off just like a group of friends, just some kids who wanted to express ourselves through creativity, through hip hop and, fashion, music production. And over the years, it's just grown. So we're now, not only do we have a store, we've had studios, and most recently, and now in its second year, is the Charged Up Fest, which is a multi-day hip hop festival and experience in Richmond, VA. The store is only 3 years old, but over the years we've had different businesses. We had like 3 or 4 studios over the years. We've been throwing events. It's just that now, with the store is really a way to just continue to brand it and just have something there all the time. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's partially a record label too. Like you guys
Yeah.
sign artists and yeah.
Well, it started, it's the label first and foremost. Like my intention was never to start a clothing line. It was like we would release music. When we released music, we would have events, and then at the events, we started selling merch like shirts. We would sell our CDs. Like CDs, vinyl, merchandise, and that just grew to the point where like people, they wanted the merch even when I didn't have projects out. People were like, yo, I need a shirt, hoodie.
Right.
So it's really, the music is the foundation, like first and foremost. If it wasn't for the music, I wouldn't be doing, we wouldn't even have the clothing, because it's just a branch off of the music.
Right.
And that's not to knock like, anybody. I've very much been involved in like streetwear, fashion. I've been a reseller of like sneakers and vintage clothing. So like that's part of it. All goes together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the music and fashion is part of hip hop. So it all goes hand in hand.
That's what's up. Yeah, it's a all big, nice web, and that's what I love too. The Charged Up Fest you mentioned before. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It's not just a music festival. It really is like a place where people can network, and it's educational. It's kind of a community impact event, and so that's what I really love about it. And my question to you, in tandem with that, is what's one thing you wish people knew about the Charged Up Fest or Richmond, or the Richmond music scene in general? What's something you wish more people knew in terms of that?
The mission of the fest is not just like to put on a bunch of shows. Yeah, I'm an artist, and entertainment is cool, but I think that a lot of times, what really drives our store is community. What really drives our music is community. That's the only reason I've been doing it this long. It's the community and friendships and bonds we've been able to build through music. So I feel like, like the store has existed for 3 years, but really the reason we've been able to function and keep going is not because we sell a ton of merchandise. The store is really like a community center. It's where people come and network. It's where we're able to provide a space in a city and in an area that's like gentrifying to, brown, black, minority creatives. And it's like, it's not about money first. You know what I mean? Like we help other brands. I give advice and mentor a lot of upcoming artists and people who want to start brands. The store and everything that comes along with the music is a way to really reinvest and help within the community. So that's what the festival, the real impact of the festival is. And the impact of the festival, even though it's based in Richmond, is felt beyond Richmond because,
Absolutely.
again, I'm originally from California. Um, I have family in New York. I go to New York a lot. So it's like really the festival, by Richmond being right in the middle of the East Coast, it's attracted people from all over the country. I don't know if people from Richmond realize that, like, if you really want to grow your career or your brand as an artist, as a creative, you have to expand outside of where you're from. So like the store has been a way that we've attracted like national artists. Like a lot of times, like just last week, I performed with Benny the Butcher in Norfolk. They reached out to me, but that's because we have visibility beyond just the state of Virginia.
Right.
And now it's like those people want to come to Richmond. You know what I mean? I believe Richmond is special. Richmond and Virginia is special, and there's a lot of good creative energy and incredibly talented people. But the only way to tell that story is to move beyond Richmond and bring that attention back home. And that brings, you know, not only attention, but investment and things that allow us to move into other spaces or into those networks in their cities, because it's really about connecting people. And
For sure.
I've been fortunate, like me just really understanding that community is first. I realize in each city I go to, there's a similar creative community of people who operate the same way, and we're able to go into those cities and function with people of like minds, you know, who got the same spirit.
Find those pockets and make some stuff happen for sure.
It's about the connection, and those people realize it. Like when they look at me and when I look at them, like we're similar and we're moving with the same like purpose and mission, you know.
Absolutely. Well, that's amazing. I mean, the mission is there, the work is there. I can tell that you really like to hit the ground running, and you know, you put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to have an event, you're going to do it big and do it right. So I really do appreciate what you're doing for Richmond.
And you have to, like, you know, there was a time, like, in my life, like, where I was frustrated and felt like I was being overlooked or wasn't getting certain opportunities, but I had to mature and realize, like, if I'm going to expect another company or somebody else who's bigger than me to even pay attention, I have to take that risk, because those people had to take that risk. It's not just like some luck of the cards, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it's really, it's just the same thing. Like if you go to the bank, they're not going to just give you 50,000 till they can see you've had money in your account, till they can see that you've been already moving at that level. And it's no different in music, like, or art. You have to really show that on your resume for people, you know, for you to get those bigger opportunities. There has to be some kind of proof, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of buzz can you generate? You know, what image are you putting out there? All that is super important. And so
exactly,
when people listen to the interview, I want people to hear, you know, the creative side is important, but so is the business side. You got to be able to do both and create your own opportunities as well. So that's amazing. I love that you do that. Yes, and that leads perfectly into my next question. So right now you said Charged Up is 3 years old. Where do you see, you know, Charged Up as a brand and yourself as an artist, like in the next 5 years? Do you want to have a store in every state, or do you want to be on tour as an artist? What's kind of your 5-year plan?
Really, like within the next year, I plan on being on some kind of tour. Like there's more and more, I guess, like interest in what I'm doing. So I know that's on the horizon fairly soon. As far as stores, like, I'd like to have a store in New York and the West Coast as well. I can see that happening. Maybe somewhere like Texas, but that's definitely on the plans. As far as like Charged Up Fest, I believe like consistency is key now that we're doing it again for a second year. And like this year, we didn't like have a lot of outside support as far as like investment of money, but there are like, I'm in certain rooms now because of me making that investment in myself. So I'm able to hopefully moving forward get more investment, and we can make this bigger, because ultimately it is going to lead to opportunities for not only for Charged Up, but it's really bigger than that. If anybody's business are like South by Southwest, what that is like there's the South by Southwest Festival, but then there's all these other stages where people are throwing their own events to capitalize off of the emotion that's in the city. And that's what really the vision is for Charged Up, where it's like all of these events that we're doing aren't possible because we're doing it by ourselves. We're collaborating with other people. Even last year we did that. Other people who have their own motion. And, you know, the more I can like do interviews and things to articulate that, like, no, it would be dope. Like if, you know, say you have your podcast and you want to have a stage. It's just like, all right, how can Charged Up support that? And then the people that's familiar with your movement will come, but then we're using the bigger umbrella of the festival to draw more attention. And
absolutely, yes, that makes sense.
So that's really the ultimate vision. So like this year on Thursday, we're doing 2 events at the same time. We're going to do an R&B and poetry show at Vagabond, and then at Yellow House Studios, we're doing like another showcase, and it's going to be going on at the same time. Like I would like, you know, that's really the ultimate vision. Last year we partnered with like DJ Ray Vaughn, him and some other people. They have a party called 200. They already do their party, but it was like, all right, how can we collaborate and y'all do a special Charged Up Fest edition during the days that we have our thing? So it's like he already has motion and momentum, and so do we. That's what collaboration is for, to really bring everybody's pockets of people together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's not competition like with us. I'm not trying to overshadow anybody. Like I salute, you know, and am inspired by other people doing what they do. I just want to, you know, make sure people understand that. Like it's not the Noah O show. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That outreach is super important. And I can see that just by the lineup itself. If it's a multi-day festival and you can see all the different players together. It's a one big puzzle and you bring in a lot of different people together. And so I love that humility that you bring about it too. That's amazing. And I love the collaborative spirit. That's all you can do in order to grow. So that's what's up. And then my last question for you, you talked about you being inspired by other players in the city, people who got motion. What artists are you inspired right now? It can be somebody mainstream, it could be somebody local to Richmond. Who are you inspired by right now?
I mean, it's a lot of people. Like nationally, people like Larry June, Currency, of course, like the whole Griselda Records movement. I'm inspired by them. People like Nipsey Hussle, Trey the Truth. This year we're bringing the artist, and he came last year. He's like the hottest rapper in Atlanta right now. Billy Gay Kush, he's coming.
Okay.
But like Richmond, I mean, I'm just inspired by Richmond in general, but there's a lot of dope artists. I like Duct Tape Jesus, Nicholas F. I like even some of the artists like Trap Ties Kai, FNF Chop. Ooh. I mean, it's not even just people that like music that I make that's similar. You know, some of the younger female artists like Nady and Big Brett's, like I think they're dope. I mean, just there's a lot of people. You know, I just like being inspired by other creative people as well, you know.
Amen. Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for being a part of this Trash Barz interview. We're going to make sure we pop out to the Charged Up Fest. It is May 27th through June 1st. It is a cultural movement. It highlights diversity, celebrates creativity, and it definitely fosters community out here in Richmond, Virginia. So let the people know where they can find you on Instagram or social media, and any last words you want to have about the Charged Up Fest.
Yo, Charged Up Fest, again, May 27th to June 1st. You can RSVP. We really want it to be accessible, so all the events except 2 are free. So if you don't have money, there's events. All you got to do is RSVP, go to chargeofbnt.com, get free passes. But May 28th is an event that's important to me. It's a mental health and hip hop panel with not only people who work in like behavioral health, but people like Mad Skills. We have Ann Marshall, the Lyricist Lounge, a big hip hop site, allhiphop.com. The CEO of that is coming to speak on this topic as well. And then the last night, June 1st, is my birthday concert, No Old Friends and Family concert. So get the tickets for that. It's going down at the Broadberry, but we hope to see y'all there. Just pop out, chargeofbnt.com, get your free passes. And follow me at Charged Up Noah O on all social media.
That part. Okay. Thank you so much. Can I hear you say trash bars real quick before I close this out?
Yo, trash bars, not
Yeah.
from no code, but trash bars is the movement.
Period.